today, it was a bit of a quick one as he approached Ramshook. He's done his metacarpal or something in his hand. His hand's swollen. He's not going to be racing for Aprilia, so it's going to be Maverick Viñales flying the flag, the Italian manufacturer. He's going to be going. He's going to be going from third on the grid. We've got actually, he'll be going from second on the grid because Martin got his 3-place grid penalty, which means he'll be going starting from, I think it's 5th position. He got done in, I think it was Q2, dawdling on the racing line. Can't be doing that, too dangerous. So he pays the price. Winners for today's race, for me, I think it's going to be a Ducati. I'm not convinced it's going to be Bagnaia. I think we could well be seeing what's Marc Marquez going to do. If he can get some heat in that tyre, he's going to be in with a chance. Obviously, Jorge Martin's going to have to try and make a forward move. If he struggled yesterday getting heat in his tyre, so today that could be actually a good thing. But we'll find out for sure in just 60 seconds. The guys are going to be setting off, excuse me, on their warm-up lap. So we've got, let's just go through the grid quickly. We've got Pecco Bagnaia P1, Viñales P2, Alex Marquez had a couple of issues with track limits yesterday, as we know. He's in P3, that's your front row. We've got Digi in 4th, Jorge Martin 5th, Marc Marquez 6th. 7th is Frankie Morbidelli, Brad Binder in 8th, Pedro Costa, in 9th, Bastianini in 10th, Raul Fernandez 11th, Fabio Quartararo 12th, Jack Miller 13th, Bezzecchi 14th, Alex Rins 15th, Oliveira 16th, Zarco 17th, Mir 18th, Luca Marini 19th, Adrian Fernandez in 20th, and bringing up the rear, Taki Nakagami in 21st. The guys are just going on the warm-up lap now. So the wind, it's not really blowing now, but there is an issue with it. There is an issue with the wind. We've got chat up and running. Come and join us. We've got it back. For me, I'm going to go with Marc Marquez. Let's lock that in the chat. Jimmy goes for Marc Marquez. Lock yours in. I'm there. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, click that notifications bell, and give us a thumbs up. That's really important. Please do it. Somebody's thrown a flare just as the guys are coming into the Timmy chicane. No doubt that will float across the track. In fact, there's 2 flares, 3 flares. They always tell them not to do it. We always get it. It's part of the atmosphere, isn't it? At the Dutch TT. A lot of tension. Massive crowd as well in Assen. Here we go. We're getting ready. The flagmen are off. All the lowering devices are on. We've got lights. We are on red. We are racing. Go, go, go. Cracking start from Pecco Bagnaia again. Jorge Martin. He's gonna be into, can't quite do it. Oh, someone, big high side at the back in Harbock. Yellow flag, sector 1 and 4 now. So P1, we've got Pecco Bagnaia, Alex Rins it was, big high side it looked like. Good start from Jorge Martin though, he's up into P3, that's just what he wanted. Then we've got Marc Marquez in P4. Little bit of a gap already at the front. We've got Bagnaia, Vinales, and we've got, that's a change. We have got Bagnaia, Martin, and Vinales. We're going to the left of Devolt. What a good start from Jorge Martin. Mandavine, the long right-hander, they're going to be driving up now through Dulcus loops. They'll be lining the move up from the Rams Hut. Who's going to be first of the late breakers into the Timmer chicane. Pecco, he's stretching the lead at the front already. It looks like Maverick's going to have a look into the chicane under. Martin can't quite make it, bails out of that one. End of the first lap coming up now. Bagnaia P1, Martin P2, Vinales in third. Jimmy J, Frank, well, I'm not having it at the minute, am I? He's trying to give me food while I'm talking. Oh, I won't be having that. He's put it in his mouth now. Right, 25 laps to go. When I get near that lad, my blood pressure goes up. Oh no, it's a suntan from yesterday. Bagnaia P1, Martin P2, Vinales P3. If you want to come on the stream, could just sit down and come on. Not hard. You keep saying no, and then you stand there talking to me, offering me food. .6 of a second lead at the front, Bagnaia to Martin. Then you've got a half a second from Martin back to Marc Marquez, who's dispatched of Maverick Vinales. Vinales is going for the long game though with his tyre choice. And where's Pedro Acosta come from? Up into 6th. Soft rear, hard front. Soft rear and a hard front for Pedro Acosta. He didn't make any progress yesterday. But at the front, Pecco's trying to check out here. Martin's trying to go with him. Marc Marquez is trying to go with Jorge Martin, and Maverick's running his own race. That's the end of the lap. 24 to go now. 1:32.6 for Bagnaia, fastest lap of the race. Let's do a top 10. We'll just let them get through Harbock, and then we'll... In fact, we'll wait till they go through Osnabrücken, and then once they get out of Struben and drive out down the Weinschlang, we'll give you a top 10 then, because there's going to be less of a change. He is, isn't he? Yeah. I don't know if you heard that, but Henry Russell reckons Pecco's going to stretch him early, and then he'll probably just try and go off his pit board then. So we've got top 10, Pecco at P1, Martin 2, Marc Marquez in 3rd, then it's Vinales, Acosta in 5th, Alex Marquez in 6th, Digis in 7th, Brad Binder in 8th, Bastianini 9th, Fernandez in 10th. The Beast, Bastianini, he came good later on yesterday. Good to see Rins is alright. It was his own fault. He was deep into Harbock, and he still tried turning it in instead of running wide, lost the rear and high-sided himself. We've all done it. But it hurts, that's for sure. Right, coming through the Gert Timmer chicane. 23 laps to go now. Martin's just gone quicker than Bagnaia, only by a couple of thousandths of a second though, and then Digi goes quickest of all. So we've got Pecco in front. That gap he's not getting away as he'd probably like. It's 0.8 of a second. He'll take it, but he would have wanted more probably for the tyre that he's used. They're just going through Struben now, the tight left-hander, then they'll drive up the Weinschlang. See how the Ducati of Marc Marquez compares with yellow flag in sector 1. How it compares with the Aprilia of Maverick Vinales, we won't know because we just lost a shot. Marco Bezzecchi's crashed out. A lot of changes been coming in riders and teams. Oh, Bezzecchi's running again, but there's something, there's either smoke coming out of him Yeah, he just lost the front as he went round the slow left-hander at Struben. Yeah, lots of riders changing teams. Teams changing manufacturers, as in Pramac going to Yamaha. Interesting. And also Yamaha are going to run a team in Moto 2 as well, trying to produce their own riders, and a good project coming up from Yamaha. We just saw into the chicane there. Pedro Acosta's been done by Digi Antonio, but Pedro's trying to come back now into T1 at Harbot. Can't quite do it on the brakes. Jorge Martin, the fastest lap of the race so far. He's in second, chasing down Pecco Bagnaia, who's in P1. Marc Marquez is in P3. If you're watching this, use the chat, please. That's what it's there for. Just say hello, anything you want. If you're feeling a bit more adventurous, put in who's your man for the race, who you think's going to be winning. If you want to ask any questions, feel free. Oh, hang on a minute. Marc Marquez already has got a track limits warning. With 22 laps, 21 and a half laps to go, that's going to be a hard race now, not to get that final indiscretion and get a 1 lap penalty. So if that's going to change your view on whether Marc Marquez is going to be the winner of this race, now's the time to put it in chat. I've nailed him in. Jimmy goes for Marc Marquez. He's also getting put under pressure again here from Maverick Vinales, which is not what you need when you've got to watch your track limits now for the rest of the race. Driving through Rams Hook there, and Marc Marquez just a little bit quicker than Maverick there. So Pecco's at the front. Right, he's got a lead of a second. We've got Jorge Martin in second place. He's got a gap then back to Marc Marquez, 1.3 seconds behind. Excuse me. And Marc Marquez having that track limits warning so early in the race. Do you see Marc Marquez going the rest 21 laps without one more indiscretion with track limits? I don't. He's good enough, but I don't see it. When he's going flat chat, full gas, especially if there's a breeze about, it's so easy to just drift that extra inch. And if Marc Marquez does that, we know what's coming. A long lap penalty around Ossabrücken. We'll just wait until they go down the Weinschlang, and then we'll do a top 10. But currently it's Pecco in the lead by a second just over to Jorge Martin in second place. Marc Marquez in third, just from Maverick Vinales. But Vinales is coming under pressure himself from Digi Antonio. Digi's looking to cut underneath him at the chicane. He'll make that move stick, bit of a block pass, which will suit Marc Marquez, because he'll gain 4 or 5 bike lengths there as Digi slowed Maverick down there. Getting a bit of a roadblock behind Maverick now. Digi's looking to get after Marc Marquez. Don't forget, Digi's on the 2023 Ducati, which, as we know, it goes well. Right, let's hit that top 10 while we go down the Weinschlang. We've got Pecco Bagnaia. We've got yellow flags in sector 1, by the way. Jorge Martin in 2, Marc Marquez 3, Digi 4th, Maverick in 5th, Pedro Acosta, Joan Mir's crashed, Pedro Acosta in 6th, Alex Marquez in 7th, Brad Binder 8th, Enea Bastianini 9th, Raul Fernandez, that rounds out your top 10. Joan Mir's, he's alright, he's back up and picking his bike up, but he won't be restarting that. And if I was him, I wouldn't bother. Still a dog, that Honda. 20 laps to go. Yellow flag is still out. They're probably struggling to get it out of the gravel, actually. So there's nobody going to be overtaken at the front. That gap has come down slightly, Bagnaia to Martin. It's 0.9 of a second. Then there's a gaggle of riders coming for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So all the way down to Raul Fernandez in 10th. They're lying astern and all within striking distance of each other with a brave overtaking move. Marc Marquez is still under threat of long lap penalty. He's already got a track limits warning to his name. Down the Wien-Schlang they go. Into Russ and Hook. Then it'll be the right-hander of Steckenval. Fantastic circuit, isn't it, Assen, let's be honest. So looking back here, we've got Alex Marquez with Brad Binder behind him, and right behind Brad Binder is Enea Bastianini, a la the sprint race yesterday. Bastianini made, once he got past Binder, he made good moves. Digi's gone through Marc Marquez already, so he's not hanging around there, and he's going to be chasing down Jorge Martin, 2.4 seconds. Whether Digi's using his tyre up, but the way he's gone past Marc Marquez there, they all come through the chicane, line astern, nobody making the move. Digi into Harbock. Looks stable. Marc Marquez in 4th place now. Looks quite stable. Maverick. Everybody's looking like they're just holding station. Just maybe clicking a few laps off, looking after the tyre. Into the tight left-hander of Struben before they power out of there. Down the Wien-Schlang. They'll be tipping it in right before they hit Russenholt. I think Russenholt, they're going about 190 miles there as they tip it right before the left-hander. You only need a little gust of wind there, and let's be honest, you're going slightly offline, which Marc Marquez cannot afford to do. Marc Marquez let Digi Antonio by then. Maybe he's just going to follow him around, and maybe he wants to get some heat in his front tyre. Maybe Marc Marquez wants to follow Digi because he definitely let him through. And the only reason he would let him through is so that he could follow him closely and get some heat in his front tyre, because there was quite a big gap, 2.6 seconds to Jorge Martin. We'll find out after the race, no doubt. That was very odd. That's the only reason I can think that Marc Marquez would let Digi through. He actually pointed to him with his finger. Take me on the inside, big boy. And Digi, he didn't need telling twice. But now Marc's staying with Digi Antonio. So it's not like Digi just out and out pace took him past Marc Marquez and he's going to chase down Martin, which is what I thought might happen. All going through Struben, the tight left-hander. Twist the throttle, full gas, down the Wien-Schlang, turn it, tip it right, 190 mile an hour. And try not to run onto anything green if you Marc Marquez, because you know what's coming, a long lap penalty. He's right on the pipe of Digi. He's definitely trying to heat his front tyre, Marc Marquez. I'm convinced that's what he's doing. At the front, Pecco Bagnaia has got the lead of 1 second over Jorge Martin. Martin's got a lead of 2.7 seconds over Digi Antonio, who's in 3rd, with Marc Marquez, Vinales and Pedro Acosta all waiting to pounce on the slightest mistake. I don't think Marc will actually need a mistake. I think he's got the pace. I just think he wants his front tyre heating up, and he's going to use Digi to do that. 16 laps to go. Bagnaia and Martin at the front. They're about 1-2 tenths a second quicker per lap than Digi's in third at the minute. Fastest lap of the race there for Pecco Bagnaia. But Jorge Martin will have been a few thousandths behind, because now that gap's come down from Jorge Martin and Bagnaia. Well, it's just gone back up again. It's flip-flopping between 0.99 and 1.04. But they're certainly pulling away from Digi in third. It's now 3 seconds the gap. We've probably got another 5 laps before we're going to start seeing tyre issues. And the bikes on the grid, there's just such a mixture of tyres. Every single compound is being used. Soft, medium, hard, they're all out there. I just wish they would show us the graphic of who's actually racing what tyres. 15 laps to go. Still 1 second. Bagnaia leads from Jorge Martin. Martin got a great start. Started from 5th. By the time they got to Harbach, turn 1, he was in third, pushing Maverick for second, which he duly took not much later. Maverick's in 5th. Looks settled. Not sure if he's just clicking them laps off. We'll find out for sure. I don't think he had the pace to go with the Ducatis, to be honest. But obviously, as the race goes on, tyre wear comes into it. Maybe that's where he was going to try and make his move. Being 0.5 seconds the gap from Martin in second now to Digi in third. Still being followed by Marc Marquez is Digi. And Marc Marquez is being followed by Maverick Vinales, who in turn is being followed by Pedro Acosta. There's then a gap of 1 second back to Bastianini in 7th. Brad Binder's in 8th, Alex Marquez 9th, Raul Fernandez rounds out the top 10. So it sounds like there's a good chance Jack Miller next year, he hasn't got a ride currently, sounds like he could be going to be part of the Yamaha project. That would be an interesting move. Just watching a replay of Marc Marquez letting Digi through. He ran wide after pointing where he wanted Digi to go. Why would you do that if it's not to heat your front tyre? Always likes to run a hard front tyre, doesn't he, Marc Marquez, for the stability that he gets from it as much as anything. New best race lap from Pecco, 1:31.8. He's not dropping Jorge Martin though. Almost up to 4 seconds though the gap to Digi in third and Jorge Martin in second. Don't forget to use the chat. Come and say hello, ask us any questions. If you want to know why I've got such a red face, because we was at a festival yesterday, watching the Jam, bit of Jason Donovan, XTC, Altered Images, Claire Grogan, she was fantastic. We also had The Real Thing, Boomtown Rats, only ever made one song really, didn't they? I think still living off that, Big Geldof. Sister Sledge, although there's only one of the original sisters still singing, it's been handed down to the younger, to the children and cousins, however, still fantastic. Still fantastic. 13 laps to go. That gap at the front has just crept up 1.3 seconds Pecco leads Jorge Martin. Then Martin in second has got a gap back to Digi Antonio. That's stabilised at 3.8 seconds. Well, in that group, you've got Digi third, Marc Marquez fourth, right on the pipe there of Digi. You've got Maverick Vinales in fifth and Pedro Acosta in sixth. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Bastianini, who's starting to make a forward move now. He's dropped Brad Binder. Alex Marquez in ninth. Raul Fernandez rounds out your top 10. And if you are a Fabio Quartararo fan, he's currently in 13th. So what's Marc Marquez going to do now with 13 laps to go? Coming into the Gert Timmer chicane, just keeps his station behind Digi there. He just does not want to go past him. It's not because he can't. I'm convinced of it. He's just quite happy staying there. Probably knows he hasn't got the pace to go with Bagnaia and Martin. But he will want that final place on the podium. Following Digi around Struben, driving down the Weinschlang now. Flat chat there. 190 mile an hour as they tip it right. Then they tip left into Russian up, then they turn right into Steckenwald before the left is built. Miguel Oliveira has got a track limits warning, as has Raul Fernandez. So it's not just Marc Marquez, who's had a track limits warning since about lap 3 or something like that. 12 laps to go currently. Bastianini now is just half a second off the back of Pedro Acosta, and he could be coming to play in this group of 5 riders now, which consists of Digi, Marquez, Marc, Vinales, Pedro Acosta, and Bastianini is going to be in this group. He's going to be looking for a podium place. And he's well within striking distance when there's 11 laps to go. So it's just gone a little bit overcast at Assen. We know what the weather can be like there. We did have glorious sunshine. Looking at the flags have gone limp. Miguel Oliveira has a long lap penalty now. That's going to be for his indiscretions with track limits. He had his warning. One too many means what Miguel Oliveira has now got to do. A long lap penalty around the outside of Ossenbrücken. Not easy to say, especially for Jimmy James. So that gap at the front now is almost up to 2 seconds between Bagnaia and Martin in second now. So whether Martin's happy with this, he'll feel like he's got away with it, because having a 3-place grid penalty for dawdling on the racing line. Ooh, Bastianini through that fast right-hander as you're coming on to Hodge, how is it called? Foot was off the peg there. Oh, Pedro Acosta going into the Gert Timmer chicane. He had that bike hopping in on the way in. Everybody's on the absolute limit. The tyres will be starting to cry enough now. 10 laps to go. Pecco Bagnaia, P1, 1.7 seconds in front of Jorge Martin in P2. Then there's a 4-second gap to a group of 4 riders, which is Digi in third, who Marc Marquez let through. You've got Marc Marquez in 4th, Maverick in 5th, and Pedro Acosta in 6th, with Enea Bastianini 0.1 of a second behind Pedro. He's going to be coming through any minute now. As soon as Bastianini dropped Brad Binder, he just gapped him and closed right up onto this group, making it a group of 5. A group of 5 riders are going to be racing for one final place on the podium. Because as things stand, Bagnaia and Martin, they're off in the distance. They look set for just to finish the race now. But this group of 5 is definitely... Just watching Miguel Oliveira try and take his long lap penalty. It makes a right bollocks of it as he goes into Ossenbrücken, where the long lap penalty is on the outside. 1, 2, turn 3. He just went in far too fast and ran straight off into the gravel trap. You may as well go and park your bike, mate. That's you done. So Bastianini is now, he makes the move there through Strubben, the left-hander. He makes that on Pedro Acosta. Acosta can't fight back and the Ducati powers down the Beamschlang. Tell you what though, it didn't gap Pedro Acosta on that KTM. So there's plenty of power there in the KTM, as we know that Acosta's on. As things stand, Martin will still be in the lead of the championship by 10 points from Bagnaia. So my guess is Jorge Martin will take his medicine today, finish second on the podium to Bagnaia. Then next week we go to the Saxon Ring, Marc Marquez country. Pretty unbeatable there, Marc Marquez, wasn't he, on a Honda? We'll see what he can do when he's on a customer Ducati. Is it a customer Ducati? We know where he's going next season. Are they going to give him some little extra tools, just a little bit more horsepower? What are they going to do? We'll find out. But as things stand, he's still happy sitting in behind Digi. Definitely getting some heat into his front tyre and using Digi Antonio just for that purpose. That's my view anyway. Maverick's having a look at Marc Marquez though now. He's going to try and cut under him at the slow left-hander at Strubben, but he can't do that. Mark's now trying to pressure Digi as they drive out down the Beamschlang. Is he going to try and use a bit of slipstream and take him into the fast right-hander? No, he's happy sitting there. Russian up? No, he's gonna stay there. I think he's putting pressure on Digi because he's having to, because Maverick's putting pressure on Marc. And now Bastianini has dispatched Pedro Acosta. Aye, what's Marc looking across for there? Digi made a mistake there. Marc looked across, and while all that was happening, Maverick Vinales said, "Thank you very much, boys. I'll take that 3rd position." And drive out down the back straight down to Ramshoek. And what's going to be coming into the chicane first? It's going to be an Aprilia with Maverick Vinales, Marc Marquez, Digi, Bastianini, and he's not been dropped, hasn't Pedro Acosta, so he's still in this group of 5. Digi runs wide there. I'm wondering if he's having a few front tyre issues now. So it's going to be into the tight left-hander at Strubben. It'll be Maverick Vinales from Marc Marquez, Enea Bastianini, Digi Antonio and Pedro Acosta. Now they drive down the Beamschlang 190 mile an hour as they tip it right. Marc Marquez looking to stalk Maverick Vinales now. Digi had a bit of a tyre issue, although coming out the Maverick was just struggling for a bit of rear traction as he put it on full gas. Marc Marquez can't profit from that though, and he's now going to have an issue from Bastianini. Bastianini ride on the pipe of Marquez. Driving through Ramsup, coming into the Gert Timmer chicane. That's going to be a right-hander. Then a left-hander. Drive down the pit straight. T1 hard box waiting. Who's going to outbrake Marc Marquez into turn 1? I'll tell you who's going to... Oh, Bastianini tried to outbrake Marc Marquez into turn 1. Got it a little bit wrong, but was committed and nerfed him wide. So is that going to count as a strike against Marc Marquez in respect of track limits warning? He's been on one since about lap 2. And now, Digi repays the favour back to Marc Marquez. Takes him again. But going down the Wien-Schlang, Marc Marquez pushes Digi out. Pedro Acosta makes hay while the sun shines. And Digi's now lost 2 places in one fast right-hander and left-hander. It's getting brutal at the front of this group, that is. So breaking away now at the front after all them fun and games is Maverick Vinales, who's in third with Enea Bastianini ride on his rear wheel. 6 laps to go. And suddenly there's a gap of almost a second now between Bastianini in 4th and Marc Marquez in 5th. Bastianini now, they're going to be coming into the chicane, end of the lap. Maverick's good on the brakes there though, so he just holds station, does Bastianini. However, we know he likes this overtaking move into T1 at Harbach. We've just seen him push Marc Marquez out wide. Not close enough on this occasion. 5 laps to go. Maverick will be... I think Maverick at the start was hoping to get on the podium. He knew he didn't really have the pace of Pecco Bagnaia, who's still in the lead, by the way, at the front by 1.7 seconds to Jorge Martin. So it's got the makings of a battle between Maverick Vinales and Bastianini for that final 3rd position. However, I've just seen in the back of shot now, coming through a right-hander and a left-hander sideways, Marc Marquez. He's now trying to get on the back of Bastianini, and it looks like he's going to do it because he's dropped Digi Antonio in 6th and Pedro Acosta in 7th. Cue the Jaws music. So, Marc Marquez, he's not done, he's not dusted. He's going to be fighting for that final place on the podium. Bastianini is trying to line up Maverick here. Now he goes to the inside into the chicane. He lined it up perfectly. Got on the inside, clean move, didn't lose any time either of the riders there really. And Marc Marquez rear tyre in the air as they go into T1. 4 laps to go. The 3rd, it'll be Bastianini, Maverick Vinales, Marc Marquez. Almost equidistance between the 3 of them. Into the slow left-hander at Struben. Marc Marquez always looks good on the left-hander, doesn't he? Drives out there, down the Wien-Schlang now. And just at an interesting point, we're now watching somebody sat in the pits. And we go to Pecco Bagnaia in P1, who's a couple of seconds in the lead of Jorge Martin. Just as it was getting interesting going down the fast section of track, we cut away from it. Get a grip, Mr. Editor. They clipped away to show Marc Marquez getting pushed wide, a replay. And somebody sat in the pit shaking their head, and now we've clipped to Pecco Bagnaia, who's 2 seconds in front of Jorge Martin. And now finally we get back to what everybody wants to see. Bastianini in 3rd, Maverick Vinales 4th, Marc Marquez 5th. Amazed if he gets to the end of this race without Another indiscretion. Digi's not done. Digi's not done. He's now trying to get his claws back into Marc Marquez. The only person who looks like they're kind of settling is Pedro Acosta in 7th. Whether Digi's just let his tyres cool down a little bit, you know, his front tyre, and now he's going to have another run to the end. But to be honest, Bastianini in 3rd, he's looking comfortable. Maverick's looking like the rear's just starting to protest just a little bit under heavy power, heavy gas. You know, and once it starts spinning and squatting down, obviously it cuts the power and you lose that forward momentum. Maverick looks like he can hold a slightly tighter line though than Bastianini. Smoking the rear tyre there though. Is it through Hogheld? Butchering these Dutch names, but there you go. 3 laps to go. 2.5 seconds Bagnaia leads Jorge Martin, then 6.2 seconds back to Bastianini in 3rd. But then you've got that group of Bastianini, Maverick Vinales, Marc Marquez, Digi Antonio, and then they kind of drop Pedro Acosta. So it's that, let's say, 4 bikes racing for that final place on the podium. And as much as I love watching onboards and, you know, you see watching Bagnaia, we want to watch the battle for 3rd. 2 laps to go. 2.7 seconds now the lead, Bagnaia to Martin. So Martin's obviously just settling, and rightly so. He'll still leave this race weekend in the lead of the championship. Marc Marquez almost in the... He was carrying so much more speed through, I'm not sure where he was. Much more speed though than Maverick Vinales in front of him. He almost ran into the back of him. And now we've got a rear shot from Maverick. Mark's crawling all over him. Now we've got the front shot from Mark of him crawling all over the rear of Maverick Vinales. They're going to be coming through, I think they're coming through Mandavine there. Now they'll be, but Mark's dropping back as they go through the Rams Hut, so he's not going to be close enough. Jorge Martin has got a track limits warning. 1 lap to go, last lap. Not going to be doing anything stupid, is he? And in the background you can just see Enea Bastianini, you can see Maverick Vinales, you can see Marc Marquez, you can see Digi Antonio. It looked to me like Bastianini might have this one in the bag. He's just got 4, 5, 6 bike lengths lead. Nobody can get a move done through the slow left-hander at Struber. Now they all power out down the Weinschlang. I've got a feeling Bastianini's got this one in the bag, unless Maverick can do something fantastic like his teammate did last year. Aleix Espargaro overtaking 2 people into the final chicane of the race to get a podium position. This won't help though. Yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. Pedro Acosta has crashed out. Let's hope he's okay. Oh yeah, the bike looks destroyed actually. So he was on his own there. Maybe he's backed off and lost a bit of tyre temperature. Either way, it's going to be Bagnaia to win. Jorge Martin will be in 2nd. But for 3rd place, I'm going to go with Bastianini. Oh, where's Maverick gone though? Marc Marquez has taken him. Carnage into the final chicane there. It is going to be Bastianini for 3rd, but you've got Marc Marquez forward. Maverick in 5th, just gets over the line in front of Digi by a few thousandths of a second. But I don't know what happened there to Pedro Acosta. But that was a crazy, crazy last few corners there. What happened with Maverick Vinales, whether he lost a little bit of traction under gas, had to close the throttle. But Marc Marquez finishes in 4th. So let's just clarify what's gone on there. We've got your winner is Francesco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin in second, Enea Bastianini in third. Pedro Acosta crashed on the last lap, all on his own. There was nobody there. Yeah, but he must have just lost a bit of tyre temperature or something. But it was a big crash, destroyed the bike. I don't know. But yeah, Maverick ran wide going through Ramshook. And Marc Marquez cut through on the inside, took the position. Digi had a look at it, and Maverick just held on to the position. So Francesco Bagnaia P1, Martin P2, and Air Bastianini P3. Like I said, Jorge Martin, take your medicine, still in the lead of the championship. We're going to Saxon Ring next week, where I hope you'll join us for Moto 3, Moto 2, and Moto GP. We'll be doing the sprint race. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, click that notifications bell, give us a thumbs up. Even if you're just watching it for 30 seconds, it helps us so much. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live first. Join us later on for England v Slovakia in the Euros. Gareth Southgate, sorted out. We'll be back shortly.